So for parallel lines and transversals, parallel lines are simply two lines in the same plane that never intersect. So they run side by side, okay, but they have to be in the same plane. You have to lay them on the same flat surface. And they would look like that. Notation that we use for that, if you see little arrows or little triangles on two lines, it's indicating that they're parallel. Now, lines can never intersect, but not be parallel, and for that case we call that skew. Okay, my example of skew lines would be the 50-yard line on the football field and the flag pole in the end zone. Okay, so if you think about that, you know, you've got your football field, you got your 50-yard line, and over in the end, and I'm terrible at drawing, but I'll give them the best shot. So you've got your flagpole, and even if we could extend these on forever and ever, they wouldn't ever intersect. Okay, it's really hard to illustrate that on the screen like this. But so just think about if they run side by side, that's parallel. If they would never intersect, but they're not running side by side, then that's called skew. Now, the parallel planes are just two two planes that never intersect, like the floor and the ceiling, like shelves on a bookshelf. Just anything where you've got two flat surfaces that would never intersect. So, the parallel postulate. Parallel postulate says that through any point not on a line. Okay, so we've got a line. We've got point P not on that line. There is only one line that I could draw through point P that is parallel to line L. Okay, that's the only one I could draw. I can't draw any others that are also parallel. So, the same thing is true for perpendicular, okay, through any point not on a line. So I've got some line point at line M, and I've got a point X not on that line. There's one and only one line I can draw that is perpendicular to. So perpendicular to means at a right angle, okay? So I could give this another, we'll give it another point. X, Y. That's terrible. Remember the symbol for that is XY is perpendicular to line M. Okay, that upside down T means it's perpendicular to. Now, if we have two lines, they may be parallel, they may not. Okay, and we're going to be doing a lot with ones that are parallel. So I'll do over here, I got parallel, and one not parallel on the left. So those aren't real good, we'll say they're parallel. So then if I have another line that crosses those two lines, that is called a transversal. Okay, so the light blue ones there are called a transversal. So what you notice is as soon as I do that, I've created 8 angles. Okay, I've got 8 angles. Same thing over here. And I'm just going to number them differently, but okay, so I've created 8 angles. Those angles have special angle pair names, okay? And that's what this stuff is here. So we have, when you have lines like that, I guess I need to come up here one more time first. We would say this is the interior. If it's in between the two lines, that's going to be interior. And so then anything outside of those two lines would be exterior. Okay, so exterior. Okay, when you hear the word alternate, so if we have this situation, we've got two lines crossed by a transversal. Okay, we have pairs of angles would be alternate interior angles. So interior restricts it to these four. Okay. Alternate means opposite sides of the transversal. So alternate interior would be angle 1 and angle 3 would be alternate interior angles. One's on one side of the transversal, one's on the other. Your eye's comparing one angle from each intersection. One of these with one of these. Okay, and all of these things. Okay, and also angle 2 is an alternate interior with angle 4. Okay, so they're pairs of angles. So in the same fashion, we could have alternate exterior angles. Doesn't matter what the orientation of these lines is. So exterior is going to take it down to these four angles. Okay. And so the way I have this one labeled, so exterior is outside of the two lines. So then alternate means opposite sides of the transversal. So the one down here that's on the other side of the transversal would be angle 4. Okay. And the same way, angle 2 would be an alternate interior with angle 3. Okay, so alternate, opposite sides of the transversal, exterior, outside of the two lines. Say we have corresponding angles. So in the picture we've got all 8 angles. Okay, so corresponding is going to be what I usually like to say, same relative position comparatively in the two intersections. So like upper left or lower left or whatever. So if I want the corresponding angle with angle 1, and so it's going to be on the same side. So angle 5, they're both like above their line, but on the same side of the transversal. So the angle 1 and angle 5 in this picture. Okay. Angle 2 would be corresponding with angle 6. They're both on the right side of the transversal, but they're above their line. Okay. And the way I have this drawn, angle 3 would be corresponding with angle 7. And then also angle 4 with angle 8. Okay. We have one more type. We have same side interior. So just exactly what it says. Some books refer to it as consecutive interior. So same side interior. So again, it's interior, so it's restricting it to these 4. So angle 1 and angle 4 are both interior, but they're on the same side of the transversal. Angle 2 and angle 3 are on the same side of the transversal, but interior. So, some examples here. We've got a 3-dimensional picture here. So name all planes that are parallel to plane ABC. So plane ABC is the top of the box, if you will. So parallel to that would be the bottom of the box. Those are the only one parallel to it. So remember, to name a plane, we actually have to write the word plane and then pick any 3 letters. I can do GHT. Any 3 letters, any order. Plane GHT. That's the only one that's parallel to it. Okay? Now, if I want all segments that are skew, so remember, skew is, they don't intersect, but they're not parallel. Skew to segment TK. Alright? Now, these are going to be parallel. Each of those is parallel, A, B, C, D, or G, H. Skew would be You can't do AT because that intersects at T, right? But what about BH? If you think about those two, BH and TK are skew. Okay. Also, CG would be skew. Okay. They wouldn't ever intersect, but they also don't run side by side. And I think then also the top two, okay, oops, I'm gonna get rid of those for a minute. Okay, AB would be skew to the orange one. BC would be skew to the orange one. And so would AC. There's a lot, okay, but just think about that. They don't run side by side, but they wouldn't ever intersect either. Okay, now if I want all lines that are parallel to KG, okay, basically it's going to be, I'm going to do it in pink highlighter, and KG. Parallel to that would be this one, okay, so parallel to KG, T, H, A, B, and B, C. Okay. So here's just classifying angle 4 and angle 5. So they are on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay. So they're alternate. They're in between the two lines, so they are alternate interior angles. I'm just abbreviating there for you. Part B, if I want to compare angle 5 with angle 2, okay, now they're on the same side of the transversal, so they're not alternate interior, alternate exterior.